Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along to the SFC interviews. This is the Stevenage Women's Chat, the first one of these that we're doing. Hopefully, we might have a few of these if it goes well in the future. But obviously, this is the fact there's a couple of big games coming up for the women over this next few days. I've got the gaffer, Fadi Mazloum, and also the skipper, Lucy Webster, with me as well. So, how are we all doing?
Very well,
good,
thank you.
Yeah, good, Tom. Really good. Just got some questions here regarding lots of things to do with women's football for the pair of you, and a little bit about how you both got started as well, really. And I think we'll start with you, Fads, actually, to be honest. And I think when, I just want to know sort of when it was that you knew that you were interested in football, and I suppose, football management as well, or like coaching.
So I played at quite a high level myself. So I was playing at teams like Hatfield Town and Bedford and stuff, and getting paid at those points. Previous to that, I was in academy football as well. So I've always been in football. I think the day that sort of dawned on me was when I had to wake up for work at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't want to do it. But then when I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock to go traveling for football, I was like buzzing. I knew that that's sort of the avenue that I wanted to be in. So it's just sort of stemmed from there, and always had a love for it, always had a passion for it. And my thing is that I've got a daughter, and just the women's game in general, I just feel like it's never had the recognition. So I've always wanted to be involved in the women's game more than the men's, because just for those main principles. So yeah, I've just loved every minute of it, really.
And of course, I suppose I'll come to you, Lucy, on the same question. I know, obviously, you've been with Stevenage for a couple of years now, and obviously, we'll start for you when it came down to the earliest memories you've got from football as well.
So I'm the same as Fadi. I've been in football my whole life, basically. I started playing when I was about 4. I had an older brother and he played football, so it was one of them ones where it's like you just want to do what your older siblings are doing, really. And my parents just took me along to a football training session once in a local boys team, and then it's just gone from there, really.
And of course, we'll sort of go into your time at Stevenage in a little while, the pair of you. But I mean, from before that, obviously, Fadzi mentioned there about what some of the clubs that he'd been at. What about you, Lewis? Where have you been sort of before Stevenage, and when that move to Stevenage came about? Had you been at that sort of level before? Had you been at levels below or levels above potentially? Whereabouts had you been playing?
So obviously youth level was just local teams. When I turned 16, I went and signed for Luton, actually. Stayed there for 2 years. Went to Watford for about a year and a half, and then I signed for Stevenage, and then I've been at Stevenage ever since.
So it's all local then, obviously. Watford and Luton are obviously clubs that are sort of in the local area as well. So it's all. That's
mainly because she couldn't be. She was too young to drive, so her parents were trying to keep her local.
Yeah,
that's probably what it was.
It's probably fair enough, to be honest. And then obviously we said about the women's game. You said it there, Faz, about the sort of, I suppose it is availability really for girls that want to get into football and sort of don't have that opportunity from a young age. And that was a big part for you. And, obviously, Lucy, you're saying there about, the fact you had a brother that was playing as well, and, just in the garden or having a kick about with your brother down the park or whatever. Like it's obviously, quite. I don't know what the word is, but it seems quite a common way into the game.
Yeah, I think if you speak to quite a few of the girls or any in female football, I think we'll all say that there was either a dad, a brother, friends, or like cousins, whoever that get you, like male cousins. Especially when we were younger, I think that was almost the only way into football, was just through the dads or the brothers, I think.
And we'll go to you next, Fadzi, and sort of come to Stevenage. And obviously, originally it was an interim spell at the club, and obviously the success that you brought there as well was 4 wins in 6 in all competitions. And, did you know then that you wanted to stick around?
So originally when the season actually started, so I've been in the women's game for about 5-6 years now. So I was at Bedford previous to this, who are actually in our league at the moment. And I was headhunted by Carl, who was in charge at the time, who rang me and just said, look, I need another coach. Do you want to come in and work with me, blah, blah, blah. So we sort of got to the details of formation and tactics and sort of spoke about a few things. And it was there wasn't a shadow in my mind that I was going to say no to this offer. And I sort of took it. So I went in and worked with Carl for a little bit. And then when he left, it was his suggestion to the management board that I get given the opportunity. So I was given the opportunity as an interim, and me and Dave have worked so well, because Dave at the time was assistant manager of the devs team.
That's Dave Perry, yeah.
Dave Perry, yeah. So obviously he stepped up and come and become my assistant, and we've just worked so well together ever since. And it was probably one of the best decisions that we made in terms of that. And yeah, we've gone from strength to strength, I think, personally.
And obviously with the women's team there as well, obviously it's got quite a good dynamic actually. When you look at it, obviously there's Danny, and then there's Dave Potter, and obviously Dave Perry, Marco, Lindsay. It's a good little managerial background team that you've got there as well.
Yeah, so we've had to rebuild it. So when I first came in, there was some coaches that were really eager to learn and progress and stuff, and we're giving them opportunities. So Josh Newman is a perfect example of that, who's now the under-12s academy manager. Yeah, he's actually managing them now.
Oh no.
So which is really good. And then there's other coaches that still needed a lot of work and weren't quite.
Oh, I don't know what's happened. I think Fadi's you hit mute or something. I'm not too sure.
His connection's horrendous. Every time we do Zoom calls, it always cuts out.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, I'll come to you, Lucy, then, while I wait for him to sort that out.
Apologies. Yeah, can you hear me now?
That's right. Yeah, I've got you now. Yeah, so just
I have no idea what happened there. It just literally pressed mute by itself. It wasn't even me.
No worries. I'll come to you after, Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, obviously there were some coaches that still needed a lot of work and just weren't quite ready for where we want to take the club. So we made changes there. Lindsay's our physio. She actually works for the NHS as a physio, so she's come in and really done a good job on keeping our players injury free or getting them back quicker than what we did do previously. And also Marco is ex-pro. So he's played at New England Revolution in America. He's the head coach at Barnet and Brentford in the academy as well. So he's got a lot of experience with him and a good friend of mine as well. So I brought him in. So there's still going to be one more inclusion as well. Obviously, Rishi's come in and taken over the devs from Dave Potter. I mean, Dave was doing this role for a long time, and he's a great guy and stuff. But it was definitely time for a change in terms of trying to progress where we want to take the club. And yeah, Rishi's come in and comes with new ideas and new ways of doing stuff. So yeah, it's a good team.
And obviously, I was just going to come to you, Lewis, actually, about the captain's armband and being a skipper of this side as well. Obviously, I've heard from Fadi and from Steph and from some of the other girls as well that are involved about the closeness between you as a group. And how is that for you to lead that on a match day?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things in a team, isn't it? You spend so much time with each other. You spend your good and your bad days together. So it's good that we are a close-knit group. Like, we all get along. There's no bitterness in the club anymore. And I think leading it makes my job a hell of a lot easier when you know that the girls are getting along and that there isn't any outside of football issues that much that I need to deal with. So I think in terms of going into the season with a group of girls that we've got, it's definitely a positive step compared to last year, and definitely going to help us this season for sure.
And obviously it's a small group as well. I was just talking to Fadi about it before you got on as well. it's kind of similar to the men's in regards to the size of the squad. It's about 2021, and is that a positive? Do you believe?
I think so. I think it keeps it competitive enough that that there's always someone else that's able to take your place, so you can't be slacking a bit. But it also doesn't allow too many people to be taken for one position, which means most people are getting played, which at this level is so important because it keeps everyone happy in a way. But I think in terms of, if it's the same with the men, they probably feel the same, that it's good just to have a small-ish group, knowing that you've got enough players if people do get injured. But then again, you've got a small enough group that everyone is able to be friends, basically.
Yeah, and we were just saying, Fads, as well, I'll come back to you on this, about the fact it's a small group, and obviously for you as a manager, having players that aren't going to be available come game day every time as well, every match day. Is it quite difficult at times for you as a gaffer?
To be fair, yes and no. I mean, we've created a culture where you need to be available, you need to be at training, you need to be around in order to be in for a contention and a shot of being within the 16. But the competition that's there isn't as big as you would expect it to be in a club, but at the same time, you've got to respect that the girls are not on full-time contracts. They all got jobs, work commitments, and et cetera. So you have to try and find a good balancing act as well. And I think we've got that. I think we've got the right amount of players. We've got one signing left to make, which will be announced soon. And then the team's completed, and that'll be the team going into this rest of the season now.
Okay, and of course we touched on there regarding the squads and stuff, and sort of how often is it that you train? Is it sort of once a week, twice a week? How often are you actually out on the training pitch?
So we train twice a week. We train back to back on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then obviously we play on a Sunday.
So you've got a little bit of time in between to kind of manage a bit as well. Yeah, but obviously touch time with the girls isn't great. So you have two hours on a Tuesday, and then hour and a half / 2 hours on a Wednesday as well. So where when you're a professional contract and you're playing higher up in the leagues, you're with them more across the day as well. So you might even do a 10 till 3 or etc., and it'll be more days. So trying to implement a style of play, trying to make sure that everyone's together, etc., when you have less touch time with them is the main objective as a manager and a coach of the team. Okay, understand that. And then when you go to last season, we'll touch on last season a little bit. It was obviously a very mixed season with the club unfortunately suffering relegation, but winning the Hearts County Cup as well. So I suppose we'll touch on the relegation a little bit to start off with. And you said it before, obviously, towards the end of the season, the club were 5th in the form table. So it's a little bit of, just unfortunate, a little bit unfortunate, I guess, that obviously some of the results didn't cut, some of the fixtures didn't fall towards the end of the season when, you were picking up points and, you felt like you might pick up some more points come the last few months of the year.
Yeah, so the first 7 games, obviously the girls lost them all. I think they didn't win a game. I think they scored 1 goal, minus 35 goal difference. So our job when we came in was to obviously stop shipping goals was the main objective. Yeah. And then from there was, right, how can we start picking up some points to try and stay in the league? We always believed that we could do it. And towards the end of the season, there was a handful of games, and we know which games they were. That obviously cost us staying in. But to end up drawing 2-2 to QPR
on the last game of the season.
The last game of the season. Again, they were one of the informed teams. They ended up finishing the league in 4th place and stuff. So, and I feel like we definitely could have stayed up. We should have stayed up, and I think if those 7 games were at the end of the season, it would be a different conversation that would be happening now.
And is that something that you'd agree with as well, Lucy, when you look back on the season last year?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it was a tough season for everyone, I think. Like Fadi said, I think we always had when we started to pick up a few points before Christmas, we had the belief that we actually can stay up. But yeah, we've only got ourselves to blame, I think, in the games that we threw away easy, well, not easy points, but points that we should have been taken free from. So, but it's one of them ones where you look back at it and you think it might actually do the club a favour. It's given us time to reset. We've kept most of our players from last year. Important players as well, so it gives us time to reset and go again and push for promotion this year.
And we'll touch on that in a second, but obviously the County Cup as well, getting through and winning that County Cup as well. Obviously, it's a little bit of silverware. Yes, it's tainted by the fact that there's relegation on your CVs as well, but to win a trophy is still a positive no matter what for a season.
Luce?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going to speak.
No, I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah, I think, of course, like you said, winning the trophy is big for anyone. Don't matter what trophy it is, you get through to the final, you want to win it. So yeah, it was a bit a sweet season that we've obviously won. I think that was the main goal for us, though, was actually winning the County Cup, because we want to be the biggest team and the best team in Hertfordshire. Relegation just came at a bit of a cost of that, I think.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. The plan is if we can keep that trophy and keep retaining it, we're always looking at winning that. But at the same time, the league will always be our priority. So if and I've said this to the girls before, if someone said to us at the beginning of the season, look, you're going to lose the County Cup final, but you're going to get promoted and win the league, I'm taking it. Because that is with all due respect, is the main goal is the league. But look, we're never going to stop trying to win games. Every game we go into is we're trying to win it, and that doesn't matter if it's a cup game, if it's a league game. The aim is always to win.
And then obviously you touched on before about the development side as well. What's it like for the development, for somebody in the development side? Do they have the opportunity to progress through and kind of make themselves available for your side as well?
Yeah, so the development team last year were called the under-23s, and we've renamed them this year to the development team, mainly because that's what they are there for. They're there to develop and to become first-team players eventually.
Right.
Last season, we played 12 players from the under-23s, and there was a combined of about 107 games and 11 goals scored. So the process of them coming up to us is there, and to have 107 appearances from under-23s players throughout the season, some of them got promoted straight for. Yeah, exactly. It's really good. This year, the first game of the season, Katie White has already played for us. Grace Brooks,
yes, I think she's got a squad number. Katie's, I think she's wearing 47, I believe. Yeah,
so it's actually 25. That was a mistake. That's all going to get redone.
Okay.
But that's a little scoop for you there. But yeah, so right. Grace Brooks again has stepped up massively as well. Obviously coming out of goal. So there is players, and Erin as well is another one. But there's players there that have the opportunity to step up, but they have to put the work in, and the more work they put in, the better outcomes they're going to have in the end.
Okay, so obviously we'll go to this season now. Obviously you've started this season already with a 3-2 win at AFC Sudbury, which was the first game, and obviously we said it before, but about your aim for the season, and obviously going on and getting that promotion, and getting back into that division where you believe you should be.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, we did not play well that game at all. Lucy can back me for that. The way that the style that we have and the sort of way that we play, it just didn't happen on Sunday. And we won the game, which is obviously the main important thing, is getting the 3 points.
Yeah.
But if someone come down to watch us, they can't take anything from it, because we'll play completely different on Sunday. So yeah, I think it's a well-earned 3 points. We've got it. We battled until the end. Sudbury are a good team. They've just come up as well, so they loads of young players with no fear, and I think they will do well this season. I really do. I think they're going to be in and around the top 5 definitely. but our plan is worked. We got the 3 points, and that was the main goal.
And obviously, Lucy, I know that you said about going the season unbeaten potentially. Is that something that you still stick to?
Oh, for sure. I think. Yeah, well, obviously, we're winning the league is main goal, but going unbeaten, I think, is our second goal. I think there shouldn't be any reason why we can't. I don't think.
No, you've got to set your aims high, and then obviously, if you don't go unbeaten but you get promotion, you've still got the promotion on your CVs anyway.
Yeah, of course. I think, like I said, getting promoted is the main goal. But if we go into games thinking, oh, this one we can lose because we can win the next one, it doesn't create a great environment in the club. So go in with the aim that you want to win absolutely everything: cup games, county cup, FA Cup, League Cup, whatever cups we're in, whatever league games we're playing in, we want to win them all.
That's a great way to look at it as well, as we were saying. And obviously, you've got your second game coming up this weekend on Sunday against Royston. And we'll touch on, obviously, the game on Tuesday in a minute as well. But yeah, just, with the fact that women's football has taken off with the Euros and how England did winning the Euros, etc. as well, and even a little bit before that, how important is it now to get, fans through the gate and kind of, get them paying their money to come and watch some women's football?
I think it's so important. I've always said after winning the Euros, it's almost a pointless win if we don't go further in the women's game in the country. So getting people in, like getting the men's supporters down, season ticket holders getting for free at our games. It's not too far to travel most of the games. Half of them do it for the men all over the country. So there isn't many reasons why some of them can't make the trip down to our games and support us as well as the men.
No, I completely agree. And I think... I'm sure, Fadi, I'm sure you'll echo that sentiment as well.
Yeah, look, it's difficult, right? Because a lot of people, they go and see the men's team on a Saturday, and then on a Sunday they want to chill and do stuff. But like supporting the women's game is just as important as supporting the men's game. Like the gate receipts and everything else is all reinvested into what the girls do, and from there that obviously can propel the game as a whole as well. And I just feel like we're all local. We're literally 5-10 minutes down the road from the Lamex, and I feel like if we can get more people coming in and watching us, it helps grow the game massively on itself as well.
I'm going to start to wrap it up in a short while now. But I suppose, we've got to touch on the game on Tuesday. First time for you girls at the Lamex Stadium. And I'm sure, Lucy, you're buzzing to be skiffering that side, walking out onto the Lamex pitch, a pitch that obviously well, because obviously you usually come down and watch the men as well. So you know what it's all about there. And to lead the side over those white lines is going to be such a proud moment for you, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone knows that I'm a big Stevenage fan. I've been a fan my whole life. Dad supports them. So, yeah, leading the girls out at the pitch. Almost a bit cringy, but a dream come true type of vibes. So, yeah, it'll be good. Hope to get as many people down there as we can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I got my ticket. I bought my ticket last week, I think it was. So I'll be down there. I've got Duncan, obviously, coming as well. So we'll both be there. I've spoken to Matt Farley. He's definitely got his ticket already as well. So, there's a lot of us regulars that go and watch the men already got our tickets, and they're going to be attending on Tuesday, that's for sure. And looking forward to, hopefully seeing a big Stevenage win.
That's the plan.
That is the plan. And I really appreciate that. As of last week, I think we sold 150 tickets already. So
that's pretty good. That is good.
Yeah, so the numbers are increasing on a day-to-day basis, but a lot of people will be coming up to the gates and buying tickets as well. So that's also available if you can't get them online. But no, we just want as many people there as possible. It will be a record for us to break again when we play there again, and we want to just keep doing that every single time.
And of course, it's going to be a very special occasion for you as a manager as well, Fadi. There, it's going to be a little bit different for you having to sort of lead the side there at the Lamex. Are you looking forward to the challenge of doing that as well?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's massive for the club. I think it's massive for the girls, and it's really good to have this as a little stepping stone within the women's game. As to play at the men's stadium is something that we've been trying to push for the last couple of years as a club, and now it's happening. It's really good.
And I suppose we'll start to wrap it up in a moment. And I think the last question or the last message really would be for any Borough fans that are potentially looking at attending that fixture or the fixture on Sunday. Just a few questions really. So who should we look out for in terms of players? And if somebody's in two minds about attending, or maybe bringing a younger member of their family, etc., what would you say to get them along? And just a bit of a sales pitch sort of
thing. The same way that you guys support the men's team, or you supported the women's at the Euros, come down and support your local Stevenage side. You won't be disappointed. There'll be skills on show. There'll be great passing on show. There'll be goals on show. And you'll be able to actually really enjoy a Stevenage win at home, and hopefully not in the 93rd minute either.
Obviously, is there anything you want to add to that, Luce? Obviously, me and Duncan came down to one of the pre-season games. I can't remember if it was. I know it was. Was it Milton? Did you play Milton?
Northampton, I think you're at.
Northampton. Yeah, Northampton. That was the one. And it was a mixture of sort of first team development squad, and there's trialists involved there as well. And obviously from then, you've gone on and you've started the season with a win, and hopefully you can carry that through, win on Sunday, and then go into the game on Tuesday with back-to-back wins, and then try and get a third against the same team that you beat in the County Cup on Tuesday.
Yeah. That's the plan. I feel like just getting as many people down there will do a lot for us. It's good to have a good atmosphere, isn't it? So, yeah.
All right. I don't know if there's anything really else to add to that, to be fair. I think it's been good to chat to you both, and obviously look forward to coming down and seeing the game on Tuesday. It's going to be a very, fantastic event, and hopefully something that, you can continue on with and get some more games being played at the Lamex, if this is as successful as it, seems to be at the moment, and lots of people come through the gate. And then you can have some more games at the Lamex again. I think it's going to be a really great event. It's going to be a really good night, and I'm predicting a Stevenage win. You have to predict a Stevenage win on these sort of things, and I think it's they're a decent side from what I know about them. But I think we're good enough as a group, and I believe it's going to be a positive outcome on Tuesday night and a Borough win.
Appreciate that. We're currently focusing on Sunday, and then we'll do it on Tuesday as well. But again, it's not just the Lamex that we need everyone's support. Is obviously we play at the Hertfordshire County Ground as well, so everyone can come down to those. Tickets are really, really cheap, less than a cup of coffee. So come down and support the girls.
And of course, you mentioned before about it being free for season ticket holders as well. When then I think it's £2 for under 18s and just a £5 for adults as well. So really, really cheap to get those tickets, and it'd be fantastic if people can come down and support the girls, and not just on Tuesday but Sunday and at the other games as well, home and away if you can.
Be good.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Well, I know you've both got to shoot off anyway in a few moments, so just want to say thank you to you, Fadi, for joining, also for you joining Lucy as well. Good luck for the game on Sunday, and look forward to hopefully seeing you on Tuesday, put in a really good performance and get a cracking result. I was going to come down to the game on Sunday, but it's actually my birthday, so I think I've got other plans going on.
We'll let you off that one then.
Yeah, we'll let you off.
We'll be there Tuesday. Yeah.
No, I appreciate your time with this.
Thank you for having us on.
No, absolutely.
We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, man.
That's one. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of your evening.
Cheers.
See you later. Thank you.
Nice one. Cheers. Bye. Bye.